What is going on? Hello everybody, I hope you're doing alright and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be having a very honest and transparent discussion with you about what's going on in the stock market at the moment. I'm going to split this video into 4 different sections. What's going on at the moment, what's happened to my portfolio, what I plan to do going forward, and the best advice I could give to people like you. Depending on if you're a new investor which has just joined my channel and started investing since I started making videos, or you've been investing for a while, you could have much more experience than me, made a lot more money than me, you know, like anyone can watch my videos and you might take something away from it. It's always good to see opinions and people's viewpoints on the stock market. Before this video does start, make sure to smash the like button and hit that little subscribe button in the corner down here, as it does mean a lot to me. Now, no more waffling, let's get into it. As you know already, this video is for entertainment purposes only. I'm not a licensed financial advisor, so if you do want professional help during these difficult times, you will have to look elsewhere. Now, where do I start? To those of you who do not invest and you're not looking at the market at the moment, in a quick summary, it has gone to absolute... I don't want to swear on this channel, but oh my days. Now, in all honesty, it's not bad at all. I see it as more of a buying opportunity to average down on some of the stocks, but I'm going to go into more detail of what's going on. Basically, in the EV market, there were speculations of us being in a little bit of a bubble, which I did mention in my previous video. And over the past few days, that bubble has popped, causing stocks like NIO, Tesla, XPeng, Switchback Energy, Li Auto, you name it, Blink Charging, all of them to come crashing down. Now, this was a little bit expected because the bubble of the EV market, which has been going on around since, well, properly since like late October, early November, was mainly hype. It wasn't the company's performance. And it has come around to bite us in the backside in a very sharp and disrespectful tone. At the time of recording this at 6:15 on the Tuesday, whether you're seeing this at the Tuesday night or Wednesday, whenever this video is out, there are massive sell-offs happening at the moment. The majority of this is through panic, as people are starting to fear a full financial crash. Now, I don't know the full ins and outs of the government spending and all of the different indicators which will point towards a full financial crash across the whole market, but I know for certain that the EV market has taken a big hit over the past 2 weeks. A lot of investors have started to cut losses and are therefore selling in the recent declines. As stocks are falling, there are very unclear support lines of where stocks are leveling out. NIO did hold around the $42 mark today, which is well, at least a little bit reassuring to see, because they did hit it about, I think, 2 months ago, and they did hold at that point. So it was quite reassuring to see a V-shaped rebound after the massive decline when the market opened today at 2:30, because NIO, Tesla, all of the EVs dropped instantly by 10 to 12%. Tesla went under $700, NIO went under $43. Like, this is a once in a lifetime, well, the potentially once in a lifetime opportunities to buy, depending on whether this decline continues over the next couple of days, which for God's sake I hope it doesn't, but even if it does, I'm going to be averaging down as it continues. Now, how has this affected and changed my portfolio? Well, I have been hit quite hard. This is where you have to be really strong mentally when it comes to investing, and like I've said in my best tips for beginners video, you have to emotionally detach yourself from your investments. I've also said before that I'm used to watching my money jump up when the market opens, but don't worry, that happened today in the opposite direction. Closing yesterday at 9 o'clock, I was around £300 or £400 up in NIO. As soon as the market opened up today, I'm £600 down. There was a small part of me that thought about selling NIO yesterday when I was £300 up, but I couldn't risk them having a potential green day the day after another 8% decline, so I kept on holding through today. With Neo, like I've said before, I'm going to be holding them for the next couple of months at least. I think Ben is now dropping a video on Neo, unless he's already dropped it already. He's probably mentioned that it's a good time to buy into him, which he'd be damn right. So I'm not really phased by the loss. Obviously it's not nice to see, because it's nice to watch your money grow, but you have to accept these things in the short term in order to make gains for the long term. Now, there were two positions which I did end up selling today. Number one was Churchill Capital. I made 85p from that transaction, because when they dipped, I think, what was it, 42% when the market opened, they went straight down to my average price. And because I've held them like for not that long, like a couple of weeks, there hasn't been a big enough change in the exchange rate to make me go negative when I sell at my average price. So yeah, I made 85p off Churchill. Obviously that's the second half. Like, I did make £120 when I sold the first half. But yeah, I'm not bothered about Churchill, even if I did go negative in them today, which I probably would have if I sold a little bit later. Yeah, I was fine with it, because I took that money in the first place, and I was willing to accept that loss if the merger didn't happen, or if something like today did happen. And for those who don't know the news, the merger did go through. But why did the stock plummet? If you want a clear professional explanation to why this happened, go and watch Meet Kevin's recent video. Well, I say recent video, he's uploading like 9 a day at the moment, he's live streaming all the time. But yeah, like around 12 hours ago he dropped a video on why it happened. But basically, the valuation for Lucid and TCIV on merging would come to around $12 to $15 billion in the articles that were released in January and early February. But after all the shares and the volume being bought into the company, they decided to valuate it at $24 billion. Which sent the price crashing. This was over double the original valuation, and yeah, they done over all of the retail traders. Like, luckily my average price was good enough to not be affected by it, but for other people that got in at around $50, $55 a share, and God forbid if you got in at $64 a share when it peaked, my heart is with you, because it's a bit of a hard bullet to bite in the short term, but I'm sure they will hit that at some point in the future. To summarise, they saw a big sum of money which is being pumped into the company, and they took it. So yeah, I sold my CCIV, and I also sold my Tesla. This decision did take some willpower, because I loved my Tesla investment coming in at $591 as my average price, but I wanted to liquidate some of my investment, so I had some money to buy in when it does dip in some of my other investments like Neo and, well, mainly Neo. I had around $1.5 grand in Tesla, and I sold it to make, I think it was something like 58, 60 pounds, something like that. At one point in Tesla, like a month ago, I was £600 up, and you're probably thinking, oh, why didn't you sell then? Why didn't you sell then? In hindsight, of course you'd sell then and buy back now, but you never know what's going to happen. And Tesla was and is still a company I plan to hold on the future. I am going to buy back when they dip a little bit more, if they dip, and then hold them for the future going forward, similar to Neo. But I sold Tesla, so I had funds to average down in my other investments. Overall, my portfolio has been hit pretty hard across the board, because it is mainly EV. But I'm very excited for the future going forwards in the EV space, because this big dip has created a massive buying opportunity, which brings me on to the third point of the video, what I plan to do going forwards. Now, all I'm doing at the moment is just holding my stocks and buying more if it dips below my average price. And this is pretty much what I'm going to be doing going forwards anyway, because I'm not going to sell if it starts going up. Like, there's no point. I'm intending on holding these stocks like Neo for a good 5 years or so at least. When I bought into these stocks in the first place, I went in with the long-term mentality, which is what I said in the first point in this video here. Whether the EV bubble has now fully burst, or if it is going to continue to deflate over the next day or couple of days, or however long, I'm very much looking forward to the run-up we're going to see after that. Now all the hype is out the way, all the growth from here on onwards will be to do with fundamentals and the company's performance. This I'm very much looking forward to because NIO have their earnings released on the 1st of March. It's either the 1st or the 3rd. Either way, you want to get in at least a week beforehand because depending on how quick this market sorts itself out, there's going to be a run up. Well, you know, I can't even say that because I don't know what's going on at the moment, but normally before big announcements like earnings and, you know, like car releases like NIO Day, there are big run-ups because NIO Day, I think that's when the stock did hit one of its all-time highs, like around $64 a share. But yeah, NIO's earnings aren't the only reason why I'm like so excited about the growth of the EV market from here on onwards. It's because it's going to be a very bullish market. Once all of the speculation of the EV bubble is out the way and the bubble's been burst and all of that, what do you think is going to happen afterwards? There's not going to be another bubble burst because the hype is already gone. This can only leave sustained growth for the future. Hence why you got to get in when it gets low. And finally, moving on to the best advice I could give to anyone watching at the moment, don't panic. The market is currently correcting itself. Whether it's just the EV market or it's everything in general, you've just got to stick it. If anything, average down in your investments. Add a little bit more in as it continues to drop and you'll be so thankful you've done so in the future, as in like 3 or 4 months time. Like I've said before, I'm not a stock guru, I am not Warren Buffett, I am not the overlord of investing, I'm just giving you some advice on what I've picked up on in my year of investing. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you managed to get something from it and you've been a little bit reassured that everyone is in the same spot as you with your investments. Even if you got in at the highest point in some of your stocks or you got on a low point and you've taken a little bit of a loss in your profits, it doesn't really matter. We're all in it together. The current decline in the market can only last for so long and there's only one direction it points once it's all over with. Everything I said in this video was just my opinion on how I'm feeling at the moment. I'm not very fazed by it at all as it is one of the processes of investing. Even though I'm down in some of my investments, I don't really care because you don't lose money until you sell. But yeah, I just wanted to be transparent with the people that are watching as it's always good to be open about how you're feeling and like how you view your stocks and what's going on. With all that being said, make sure to smash that like button once again. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Stay safe, go make some money, and I'll see you in the next one.